What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace your old crusty foggy headlights with some brand new headlight assemblies. And while we're doing this, we're going to go ahead and replace the AC belt and the drive belt. So today we're going to be knocking out two birds with one stone, taking off the bumper, doing the headlights, and while the headlights are out, the bumper's off. That'll give us so much more room to work in here. All right, so first things first, we're going to be starting off with taking off some of these bolts up here. We have this 10 mil, this 10 mil here, these clips, all right here, this 10 mil, and that one right there. And then once all those are off, we'll go underneath the car and there's a whole bunch more clips. And then in the wheel well, we have a little 8mm bolt right there, and that's on both sides. So let's go ahead and do that. Or if you're able to get a tool like this, and drop it in the engine bay. If you're able to get a tool like this, some clip removal tools, these work great. Or you could just do the old-fashioned way with a flathead screwdriver. It all works the same. Same, but different, you know? Magnet trays to hold the bolts that we'll probably lose at some point. So underneath we have another push clip. This is a screw, a Phillips screw, some bolts. I think these are all 10 mils under here, and then some more clips. So just go ahead and remove all of those underneath the car, and then the bumper should be able to come off. All right, real quick, I stand corrected. These bolts that go underneath there that you saw, those can stay on. You don't have to take them off, but all the clips and the screws are out. Next, you want to go ahead and just come over here to this side of the bumper and just gently pull on this. It helps if you have like a little pry tool. So it helps if you have a kit like this. I'll link this one in the description. This one's from Amazon, and you can get a little pry tool like this. And when you're pulling on the bumper with one hand, you can use this to push on this little black tab right there. You push that in while you're pulling and it pops right out. Because you do not want to yank on this. You'll split this freaking paint, you'll crack the bumper, you'll do damage. Believe me, I've done it. Now that the bumper is off, I can see just the mess that's been in here. I will be cleaning all this out. Man. So now with the headlight assemblies, we have a bolt here. There's one back in there. There's also one underneath, which is kind of weird. Yep. There's another one right underneath. So 3 total, one here, one in there, and then one on the side. All right, this headlight is out. So that bolt that I told you guys to go get from underneath, it's for the bracket that holds the headlight in place. You don't need to take it out beforehand. You can do the bolt over here and then the one back in here, and it comes out, and then you can take it off. If you plan on reusing anything, I'll show you guys real quick. You take this boot off. Take this boot off. Like if you just wanted to replace your bulbs, you don't have to take out the freaking bumper, of course, but like it's one of these spring-loaded clamps that hold in the headlight. You just push down on it and to the left, it comes off and the bulb comes out. But since we got new headlights, we don't need to worry about this. Alrighty, we got the old headlights out. I cannot wait to get the new ones in. But first, I'm gonna have to clean all this up on both sides, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the belts. Now this, on these older Hondas, they don't have an auto tensioner where you just put a wrench on it and you pull on it and it gives slack in the belt. This has an adjustable tensioner or whatever system with this wing nut here. So this is my first time doing it. We're gonna have to figure this out. All right guys, quick update. We got one belt out, and I am so glad we're doing this because wow. I don't know how good my GoPro's picking this up, but holy crap, this thing, look at that. literally crumbling in my hands. I'm so glad that we're doing the headlights and the belt at the same time, because look at all the room I can have to stick my hand down in here and take the belt off and put the new one on. It's just, it makes it so much easier. I guess to show you guys, this is the adjusting part that I was talking about. There's a 12 millimeter bolt nut right here, and then there's another one right there. And really this one was a little bit of a pain to get to, but got it done. Loosen that, then you loosen the wing nut, and the power steering pump drops down, which creates slack, and you can take the belt off. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep working at this, and I will get back with you guys when this is all done. Alrighty, now we got the other belt out that goes around the crank and the alternator. Oh, and the compressor, of course. I don't know how well this is picking it up, but dude, so when I bought this car, the previous owner said that these were the original belts. So these are 23-year-old belts, way overdue. Once this belt is off, you take off the wing nut, the adjusting, the 10 millimeter, you take that off, you take off the 12s, and then you take out, you can leave this in here. This is the stud where that 12 millimeter nut threads onto that holds the power steering pump on the bottom. You can leave that in there. Another wing nut, and you follow it right at the end of it, right underneath the pulley. There's a 14 millimeter nut that you crack open, you loosen it, and then you're able to turn the wing nut to loosen the belt, and you crack loose the 14 millimeter on the alternator so it can move up and down, and that's what gives you, this thing is fucking, man, honestly, I would hate, now that I think about it, I probably could have replaced the alternator since it's already right here in my teeth, but that'll be a future problem for me, and I'm not looking forward to it. But for now, we got the belt off. Let's go and get the new belts on. The new belt is on, the one that goes around the crank, the thicker grooves of the crank. Now, when you're putting this back on, you want to make sure that you have, let me see, you want to make sure that you have a decent amount of play in the belt. Nothing crazy, but just enough, because if that thing is so freaking tight, it doesn't move at all, it's gonna wear out. It'll probably snap. You want to have a little bit of slack in it, so you got to be careful. Since the alternator was tilted downwards and that gave us slack on the belt, when we're putting it back on, simply once you have the belt back on, pull upwards on it and then tighten the wing nut, and then you can tighten the 14 millimeter on the alternator, and then you can tighten that locking nut down there, which holds the wing nut in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Yeah. So one more. Wait, one more. There we go. So I highly recommend you guys get some long ratcheting wrenches. This is from K-Tool. Man, I love these wrenches. It's the 12 and 14 boxed in ratcheting wrenches. I use these like no other. Now we'll do the 12 mil down here, and to get to that one, if you have a real short 3/8 extension with a 12 mil, it works just fine. It's a little hard to get in there. I gotta sneak it all the way down here. I'll use my magic touch that I have appeared to have lost. It also helps you have a flex head ratchet. The flex head ratchet allows you, it gives you that little bit of articulation to kind of get in there in a little bit of a tight spot. And you want to make sure you over torque this by 37 foot-pounds. Well, we had a bit of a dilemma, about an hour-long hiatus. So, oh, I have it in my pocket still. So, as I was putting this stud through, right there, I had the nut, I had the power steering pump in place. I dropped the nut. I dropped it, I heard it bounce around for a little bit, and then it disappeared. When I tell you, I tore everything apart. Took the fender liner out, took this under, the whole plastic piece underneath, took that out, could not find it. So Had to make a quick trip to O'Reilly's. Got some LED headlights. I wanted to see if they fit. If they don't fit, I'll just return them. Had to pick up this. Luckily, I already tried it. They have a nut that matches the stud, so we're good. But man, what a headache that was. Anyways, so now let's get back to work. We gotta put this belt back on, put the power steering pump back in. Hopefully don't drop any more nuts. It comes with like 10 or 15 nuts, so hopefully I don't drop any more than another 2. But yeah, let's go ahead and get back to it. Alrighty, belts are on. What I'm gonna do is start the car, let it run for about 5-10 minutes, get it warm. And then I'm gonna come back, check the tension on these. Since these are adjustable, you gotta be careful with these. All right, so she's been running for about 10 minutes. Tension is good. You can see a little bit of bounce to the belt. So I'm gonna go ahead, tighten that 12 mil right there, and then get the bumper back on. We'll do the headlights first. So the LEDs, they fit. This bottom piece, I had to cut out the boot so it fit, but it fits, it's plug and play. I cannot wait to see how good these look. Get the bumper back on, headlights in, and go drive this thing, make sure everything's all good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. All right, guys, and just like that, we are done. Look how much better these headlights look. I cannot believe it. Man, obviously it needs a wash. It's got some fingerprints and stuff all over it, some dirt, but man, cannot wait to seriously cannot get over the difference in the headlights. The headlights make it so much better. So now, last thing I gotta do is go drive it. One thing that I should have mentioned, that I should have done before I even put any of this back together, was let the car run and then turn on the AC or just drive it. Because when I started it, it squeaked like no other. Like, it sounded horrible. And it was even worse with the AC on. So what I had to do was I had to tighten it more. Anytime your belt squeaks, like if you just put a belt on it and it squeaks, it's probably too loose. I had to tighten it, the one down below on the by the AC or by the alternator, because the AC compressor would click on, like the clutch would engage, and it squeaked so loud it hurt my ears literally. Got it all tightened up, just put the headlight back on, drove it without the bumper. I went through all the gears, 1st through 5th, and it drove just fine. So yeah, I'm gonna let it cool down. I wanna see if it'll do that when it's cold. Like on a cold engine, if it'll squeak still. So I'm letting it sit. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, finally, after like 5 or 6 hours, today is so tiring. I'm about done. So headlights are in, belts are on, bumper's back on. It runs and drives fine now, no squeaks in the belt. And man, just look how much better this car looks with some new headlights and the tint also. Man, dude, I cannot wait to get the coilovers and the wheels and bring this all together, dude. But that's gonna wrap it up for today. I'm tired, I'm hungry. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, drop comments in the video. I'm happy to answer questions. And I'll see you guys later.